Welcome to another C1 Advanced esl-lounge reading lesson video. Today we will be reading Biomimicry in Architecture, Learning from Nature's Engineering. Let's begin with some vocabulary. Biomimicry, the design of materials and products that are based on biological systems. To impose, to force an unacceptable thing on someone. Defiance, open refusal to obey someone or something. Sustainable, involving methods that do not completely use up or destroy natural resources. Harmonious, arranged in a pleasant and consistent way. Ventilation, the movement of fresh air around a room or building. To mimic, to copy the way someone or something speaks, moves, or behaves. Streamlined, designed with a smooth shape to move easily with minimum resistance from air or water. To repel, to force something away, to keep something out. Adhesive, a substance like glue that is used to stick things together. Great! Now you know the keywords, let's read the story. For most of human history, architecture has been about imposing our will upon the natural world, constructing artificial environments that stand in defiance of it. A new and increasingly influential design philosophy, however, seeks to reverse this approach. Known as biomimicry, it is the practice of looking to nature's genius for inspiration to solve human problems. The core idea is that nature, through 3.8 billion years of evolution and research and development, has already solved many of the challenges we now face. By studying the designs of a termite mound or the structure of a lotus leaf, architects and engineers are creating buildings that are more efficient, sustainable, and harmonious with their surroundings. One of the most celebrated examples of biomimicry in architecture is the Eastgate Center in Harare, Zimbabwe. End of page 1. Let's continue. The challenge was to design a large office building that would remain cool in a hot climate without relying on a conventional, energy-intensive air conditioning system. The architects, led by Mick Pierce, found their solution in the intricate mounds built by local termites. These insects maintain the internal temperature of their nests at a near constant level, day and night, by creating a complex system of vents that they open and close. The Eastgate Center mimics this principle of passive cooling. The building's structure allows cool night air to be drawn in at the bottom, which circulates through the building and pushes warm air out through chimneys at the top. This self-regulating ventilation system uses less than 10% of the energy of a comparable air-conditioned building, demonstrating the economic viability of biomimetic design. End of page 2. Let's continue. Another striking example comes from the world of high-speed transport engineering, which inspired a change in architectural form. Japan's Shinkansen or bullet train faced a peculiar problem. When exiting a tunnel at high speed, the train created a loud, sonic boom that disturbed nearby residents. An engineer and avid birdwatcher, E.G. Nakatsu, noticed that the kingfisher bird is able to dive from the air into water, a transition between low-resistance and high-resistance mediums, with almost no splash. He realized the streamlined shape of the kingfisher's long, pointed beak was the key. The nose of the bullet train was redesigned to mimic this shape. The result was not only a quieter train that no longer produced a sonic boom, but also a 15% reduction in energy consumption. These examples are just the beginning. End of page 3. Let's continue. Architects are studying the strength-to-weight ratio of honeycomb structures to design lighter and stronger building materials. And the surface of the lotus leaf, which has a microscopic texture that repels water and dirt, to create self-cleaning glass and paint. Contemporary research extends to gecko feet, for adhesives that work without chemicals, shark skin for drag-reducing surfaces, and tree root systems for foundation designs that can withstand earthquakes. Biomimicry represents a fundamental shift in our thinking. It is a move away from a mindset of heat, beat, and treat, using massive amounts of energy and toxic chemicals to manufacture materials, towards a more elegant approach that learns from the intricate and highly efficient systems that nature has already perfected. It is architecture that doesn't just sit on the landscape, but actively learns from it. Okay, time for a few questions to check your understanding. Question 1. How does the philosophy of biomimicry contrast with traditional architecture, according to the text? A. It prioritizes aesthetics over functionality, whereas traditional architecture focuses on practicality. B. It aims to work in harmony with the environment, as opposed to the conventional practice of building in opposition to it. C. It uses exclusively modern, synthetic materials, while traditional architecture favored natural ones. D. It is primarily concerned with residential buildings, unlike the commercial focus of traditional architecture. Pause the video now to think about your answer. The correct answer is B. The text contrasts traditional architecture that stands in defiance of the natural world with biomimicry, which creates buildings that are harmonious with their surroundings. Question 2. What natural principle does the Eastgate Center's ventilation system replicate? A. The way a lotus leaf repels water to stay clean. B. The strong but lightweight structure of a honeycomb. C. The self-regulating temperature control of a termite mound. D. The streamlined shape of a bird's beak to reduce resistance. Pause the video now to think about your answer. The correct answer is C. The text states that the building mimics the principle of passive cooling used by termites who create a complex system of vents to maintain a constant temperature. Question 3. What specific physical challenge did the Kingfisher's beak help the Shinkansen engineers to solve? A. The need to reduce the train's overall energy consumption. B. The acoustic disturbance the train generated upon exiting a tunnel. C. The difficulty of designing a nose cone that was aesthetically pleasing. D. The issue of the train being too slow when entering tunnels. Pause the video now to think about your answer. The correct answer is B. The text explains the Kingfisher is able to dive from air, low resistance, into water, high resistance, with no splash, which was the same problem the train faced when exiting a tunnel into open air. Question 4. What can be inferred from the results of the bullet train's redesign? A. Solving an initial design problem can sometimes lead to unexpected secondary benefits. B. Biomimicry is only useful for solving noise-related issues in engineering. C. The primary goal of the redesign was always to reduce energy use. D. The new design was less effective at high speeds than the original one. Pause the video now to think about your answer. The correct answer is A. The text says the result was not only a quieter train, but also a 15% reduction in energy consumption, implying the energy reduction was a positive additional outcome. Question 5. What is the fundamental shift in thinking that biomimicry represents? A. A shift towards making buildings as artificial and unnatural as possible. B. A focus on making architecture more impressive and monumental. C. Adopting nature's elegant solutions, instead of relying on high-energy manufacturing. D. A preference for traditional building techniques over modern engineering. Pause the video now to think about your answer. The correct answer is C. The text describes this shift as moving away from a mindset of using massive amounts of energy and toxic chemicals, towards a more elegant approach that learns from systems that nature has already perfected. Question 6. Which of the following is not mentioned in the text as a source of architectural inspiration? A. The microscopic texture of a lotus leaf. B. The structure of a honeycomb. C. The way a spider spins its web. D. The root systems of trees. Pause the video now to think about your answer. The correct answer is C. The text mentions the lotus leaf, honeycomb and tree roots, but does not mention spiderwebs. Let's quickly summarize the lesson. On this screen you can review the main points of the text and the key vocabulary. Finally, here are a few discussion questions. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching this ESL Lounge video. Don't forget to subscribe for more lessons, and we'll see you in the next one.